Do you have a favorite subject in school?
Mostly sciences, mostly biology, to be specific.
Who's your teacher?
I had a teacher named Mrs. Sutherland. She was a great teacher. And my mom.
What are you going to take away from this year memories of playing ball at Clinton?
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind.
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. We sure couldn't call it a catching show, Mike.
That's for sure.
I'm telling you what, man, it is. It's tough for us anyway right now. No time to get on them, and I do have some good pictures and some good fishing reports, folks. So just stay tuned. Mike. We'll thank Mike for being with us. Say hello to Dad, Bill, Paul Harrison, Jerry Graham, Mike Pennington, Ed Galt, all you folks that are watching. We're glad to have you watching the show, and hope you continue to watch, and hope we can continue to bring you the show. One of these days we'll get back into the swing of catching them, I hope. I give you a little info. Took Wesley over to Fort Loudon Saturday morning to fish the Bass Pro Shop high school tournament, and turned out Wesley caught 6 non-keeper bass just real quick. I mean, and missed a couple more real quick, and wound up with 1 keeper. And buddy, it just seemed like they just vanished. He's catching them in there shallow water, throwing a chatterbait and a spinner bait, and the wind got pretty rough, but we stayed there and just couldn't come up with any more keepers. So he got to the weigh-in, and I said, I bagged that fish up, and I said, "You gonna take him weigh it?" He said, "Nope." I said, "I'm not gonna weigh it in." I said, "Okay." Put him back in the water. So hopefully on the next one he can do a little better. Then Mike and I, after church Sunday, I told Sherry, I said, "If you don't care, I'm going to the lake after church for a few hours." And I said, I sat and watched Wesley fish for about 7 hours over there, 6 or 7 hours, and I didn't get to pick up a rod. And I said, I want to catch something myself. So Mike and I went down to Watts Bar and got into we caught 5 or 6 small bass, but gosh almighty, them stripe was back there in that creek, and it was just every cast. I mean, we had a ball there for about 45 minutes to an hour. Like I said, get one every cast. And if you missed him, just hold on one at strike. I had 2 or 3 coming out of the water at the boat. So there was plenty of them in there, and they just waiting on the water to come on up so they can move on up the creek, Mike.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm going to do here, I want to show you those pictures. Bill and Paul didn't get to watch the show last week, and that we showed their picture from Dale Holler. So Dylan, put that picture up, will you? The 2 of them there. He'll get it there in just a second, I hope. Here we go. I got to talk to Bill on the way home from work today, and he got him another shot in his hip, and he said he's doing good, and that they were planning on going back to Del Holla in the next week or so when the moon was coming back up, and they wanted to be down there and see if they could get some of them walleye. And Mike, so that sounded good. There's old Bill right there. Got a nice smallmouth. And I think I told y'all last week, Paul caught a big largemouth out there. Bill thought it'd weigh probably 8 pounds. And Paul didn't even take a picture of it. Yeah. He wanted to catch him smallmouth and caught that big largemouth. Go to the next one, Dylan. There he is. There's Paul with a big old nice smallmouth. They caught some nice fish out there a couple of weeks ago. Sure did. They were out there, I think, 7 days, and they, had a little bit of bad weather. And a couple of days they didn't even go out, but I think they caught around 50 bass all told, which was a good trip. Good trip. So, all right, Dylan. Okay, coming back to us. Now, I'm going to show you, Dylan, what about the, Mike, what Keith, his trout trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a couple of times trout fishing.
Okay, and put the trout pictures up there, Dylan. Shucks, they're awful small. Maybe we'll get one of the other pictures a little better. Old Wilcox, Keith Wilcox there, he's been several times on that trout fishing. Did he fish the crappie tournament, Mike?
No.
He didn't fish it? Okay. Your computer's froze up. Well, it's got the virus probably. There you go. You brought that one in there. If we can just get the others to come on, we'll be in business. Well, it's froze up. You got the mask on that computer? Is that computer wearing a mask? Well, oh Lord. All right. Maybe we can get them on later. What about that crappie film? That picture I sent you this week. See if we can get that one up. Uh-oh, we're going to switch computers. That's fine. Listen, folks, there's several, the crappie, this guy at work, his family's just catching the fool out of them crappie down on the lower end of Watts Bar, and they're catching them in shallow water, on little old grubs. The smaller the head you can throw, the better. And they catch them trailing, having a floater on and a little old small tube bait on the lead head underneath the floater. They're just wearing them out, Mike. And which we knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know when. So, we'll give Dylan time to change his computer out. Maybe we can get them pictures up there. Well, Mike's got the results. Mike, you can tell us about the engine trouble you had and all this kind of stuff.
All I know is it's bad trouble. Didn't get to do nothing.
Yeah.
Caught one good crappie there to start off with and went back. It was 1.74, I think it was, and had motor trouble and didn't get to do anything. I caught another one at a pound and a half or something like that. But, we put it on the trailer there and went on to the house. It says here that Rusty Prophet and James Mitchell won big fish. There they got $2,500 on that. His big crappie was 2.42. Wow. white crappie. Black crappie is 2.41.
Uh-huh. Okay, how many did they have in it, did it say?
52 boats.
52 boats,
Yeah.
pretty good turnout.
Yeah, pretty good turnout.
Pretty good turnout.
Yeah. Like I say, I caught that one and motor messed up. And I never did get back down the lake on anything. So.
Yeah. Well, that's bad luck, your motor messing up during that time of the deal, you know?
Yeah.
Sure was. It could have waited a day,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, could have waited a day.
I know where they was at. I just couldn't get to them.
Yeah.
That person I caught, 1.7 there. It was the same place I left them, about 25, 30 foot deep.
Well, who won? I mean, what? I'm gonna be doing that with my microphone. What? And it was 175. You said that one you weighed in.
Yeah, 1.75.
Yeah, and you didn't win the hourly.
No,
Thing
there
with
was
that.
a guy right behind me that weighed a 2-pounder in.
Son of a gun. Shucks, that was bad luck all day. Well, anyway, Dylan will get his computer straightened out there, and we'll get some more pictures up. But I will tell you, you know, like I said, it's that time of year. This little cool spell coming in here tonight, tomorrow. Dogwood winter.
Yeah, I guess you'd call it that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard several people say, is dogwood winter. You know, it's time for them to start biting them. We were in some 64-degree water over there on Loudon. Out on the main channel is 58. But back in the pockets, it was in 61, 2, 64, depending on where you was at, you know. The pockets that had the evening sun was the ones that was the warmest. Just one of them days, you know. But we're gonna stay at it. Get your motor back to going. We'll be in business.
Yeah.
Let's see who we got here. Oh, Mister. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Ed. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
But you're right, that fish ain't biting good yet. I give him about another week.
Yeah. Once this weekend goes by, Ed, I think you're exactly right. They're gonna.
Yeah.
They're going to turn on. The crappie is doing it, you know, like I said, on the lower end of Watts Bar, where these friends, this guy I work with, his mom and dad and some friends of theirs down there, they just been killing them.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, listen, the reason I called was, you know how last year y'all talk about finances was getting to put the squeeze on you, you know, and you might not be able to keep running the show.
Yeah.
Well, why I had an idea. Why couldn't you and Mike stage 2 or 3 little tournaments with, you know, tell everybody that it's not going to be 100% payout, and then and maybe raise some money like that.
Well, that's not a bad idea at all, Ed. That gives me a guaranteed trip to fish.
Yeah.
You know?
You know,
Yep.
get a little reserve money in case
Right.
you pay the bills still, you know.
Well, that's good. That's a good idea. Getting the right weekend and that kind of thing. That's a good thought. We'll put some thought process into that and see if we can. We used to run a tournament down there for our uncle that was killed in the mining accident, and we'd done that for shucks, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, I guess, and then we didn't want to compete with the St. Jude's tournament going on at the same. It's always on Memorial Day weekend that Saturday, and we'd hold the tournament. But then we got this turned it into the St. Jude's tournament, and I asked everybody that was participating to just put their money in that and support that. So, But that's a good idea, Ed. I guarantee you. If
Well, I went Tuesday, and I caught about 5, but they weren't doing it. I had to fish real hard for them.
yeah,
The biggest one I caught was about 2.5 pounds, and the rest was just little slicks. But I caught about a 6-pound catfish on a Carolina rig.
well, hey, that dang catfish you got to eat too, Ed.
Oh man, he tore it up.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. They're going to eat whatever they can catch also, you know.
Well, listen, I ain't gonna take up too much time. I just thought I've been meaning to tell you about, that thought I had about that tournament business.
Yeah.
Maybe you can think about that or something.
Well, good thought. We'll put some thinking into that and see if we can come up with a couple.
All right, man.
I like it.
Okay,
All right,
y'all
Ed.
hang in there.
Good to hear from you, Ed.
Okay,
All right, but hey, keep us up to date on Norris, will you?
I will. Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right, good to hear from Ed on that. Not a bad idea, Mike. You just got to be able to get to Saturday to get it done.
Yeah.
You know, so good deal. Dylan, you having any luck? You good now? All right, put the crappie picture up there, will you? Well, that's all right. Go
That's
ahead
Keith.
and show
That's
Keith
Keith.
Wilcox there. And there's Bill. And, he's got some more. He got all them trout laid out there. That's a nice one right there he's holding up.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 more.
Yes, sir. Ah,
Looking good. Looking good. Keith, appreciate you sending them pictures to us, buddy. Sure do. All right, what about the crappie picture that I sent? Ours all the trout that they caught right there. I don't know how many. It looks like 1, 2, 3.
that one rainbow's a whopper.
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is. Keith's got into that fishing. Now there's no, them's the ones Tony caught the week before the tournament, I believe. Tony Gallagher. Now there's the picture that was taken Thursday, Tuesday. They caught them fish. The guy I worked with was there at work with me, and he told me his friends had went out to eat them before and just killed them. Said they had all 2 or 3 of them in the boat, and they had their limit in less than 2 hours. And then his mom and dad went out that morning and caught those crappie right there in a couple of hours. So
14 up there.
yeah, that's a nice bag, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Them will eat good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, them will eat good. So and he wasn't no secret about what they's catching them on, and had a ball. So that's what's going on. And I look from as the water warms a little bit on up the lake, they ought to get right. So that was good. Okay, Dylan, how about taking us to a break and come back, would you? Hey folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some 4-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes, light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Okay, we're back. I was just gathering over the paperwork from the big crappie tournament, and
I figured they'd have a page in there that give up, listed all of them each hour there, who won a big fish for each hour.
mm-hmm.
I didn't see nothing on it.
Right.
You say you had some pictures there, Bill? Them they'll holler.
Them was the ones he showed there.
Oh, you done showed down?
Done showed.
Okay.
Sure did. All righty. So what do we got on film on the cameras?
You got what you shot over at Wesley that morning, and what stripe fishing we caught there, and a couple of little bass, I think.
Okay, you didn't have any film on your camera then?
No.
Okay. All righty. M4. Going to be a hard thing with us no film. Son of a gun. Let's see. Well, Dylan, take us to that film on my camera, and then we'll come back. We're here on Fort Loudon at the canal. Wesley's just about finishing up with his fishing career. Come May, he'll be over this, but got a big crowd here naturally. They're expecting about 200 boats.
225.
How many?
225.
225. Gosh almighty. So we're boat 46, and we weigh in at what time, Wes? 2:15. All righty. I just hope he can get on some fish here today. Remember, you're going to try to. Remember our sponsors, and I think they're supposed to start blasting off about 8 o'clock, so we'll see how things go. Remember our sponsors, folks.
Steve got him another on. He got back here in the back of this creek, and been catching them stripers, and they got him another in there.
Yes, or it's ever cast.
Ever cast, he said. Yeah. Anyway, it's awful windy today, I tell you that. Almost white cabin back here in the holler, so we'll let him throw a few more times anyway. He ain't got long. I said he had to leave by 6 o'clock, and it's 20 after 4 now. So we'll see what he does. Yeah. There he is. He got him again. You sure that ain't the same one? Yeah, well. Did you? Well, maybe you ought to let me throw once or twice anyway. Okay, folks, he let me catch one anyway, so I'm gonna throw that back and see if he can get it. That wind let up, you'd probably do a lot better. Yeah.
Guarantee it.
All right, I'll have to lay the camera back down. Don't look like you're gonna catch one ever cast again. Okay. All right. Got the camera on you now. Goodness gracious. Too bad he ain't got a spot lock on that roller motor. That's right. Trying to hold in against that wind there. I mean, it's rolling down through here. That may be why they're in here, because they're driving them minerals in here or something. He got him another in here. Yeah, got short lines right here at the boat. That's all right. Keep the camera on. Yeah. See if we can get him another one here.
Oh, golly, bum. He was following it. Followed it from the boat. He was following it. Didn't get it. I didn't see one follow it that time. Right back there.
He did get hooked up here. Yep, there he is. All right.
All right, Dylan. folks, when you get into them stripers like that, there's just hundreds of them around.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to spawn, and you could tell the males from the females, but yeah, as it warms up and the water comes on up, they'll just move on it back in there a little farther in the shallow water. They'll go as long as there's water to go.
Yes, sir. Sure will.
So, you know, you want to have some fun, that's a good way to do it. We did catch 4 or 5 small bass. They're in the mix to the stripers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, you know, that's good fishing. They're in all them pockets there that you run into, especially if there's a little running water in the back of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fun to catch, you know. But there sure is a lot of them.
Oh, man. Did.
For sure. All right, Tony, give us a call over here.
Have you heard anything from Mike Jolly or anything yet?
No, hadn't heard a thing. I'll give him an open invitation. Just call me before he comes. You know, the few days before that Thursday night he was going to show up, and haven't heard anything from him. I'm hoping, you know, that he'll get out here for too long and fill us in on what's going on down Watts Bar, Chickamauga, Dale Hollow, all those 3 or 4 lakes there. It's in their region, you know, and get a little info.
I was,
Hello, caller. Well, what did I do wrong here? Hello.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah,
that fishing tournament would be a great idea.
it would. That's yeah. You know, I used to use them fishing tournaments for excuse to go fishing. You know what I mean? But that is a good idea. Ed's thinking. There's no doubt about it.
I'm thinking too.
Yeah, all right. We'll let the weather get just a little bit better and see if we can't get one up here in the next few weeks or so. What do you think?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. All right, man. It's good to hear from you.
yeah.
Thank you, neighbor.
All right, buddy. See you later. That's you, Tony?
That's me.
Okay. Now let's get your take on the crappie tournament.
I hope I have another one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. You know, after I finally understood the format of how they was going to handle the weigh-in and stuff, and pay off the 8 different times, and it's not a bad idea.
Well, we weighed in twice. We had 1.5 pounds 2 different times. We couldn't get that no bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Mike just had some bad luck there losing his engine, and he didn't get to go where he wanted to, and that kind of stuff. He had to just put her on the trailer and come home.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So, I mean, my bottom line is you liked what they was doing, so they may come back. You know, they may schedule another one here in the next month or something. If they had a pretty good turnout, so that's what you look for.
Yeah, we had 11 keepers. What we ended up with.
Yeah.
A friend of mine fished. They had 19 keepers, but they couldn't get nothing big enough to weigh. They weighed him, but they didn't win that.
Right. It's all about, you know, getting them big ones.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But Crappie, you've seen what I told earlier in the show there. Those folks down on the lower end of Watts Bar is catching a lot of keeper eating crappie right now.
Yeah, that's where a friend of mine was been fishing. They had 19 there in their tournament, so they couldn't get nothing big enough to win with.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's the way it is sometimes, really. Put these papers.
Well, I'll let you go. Enjoy your show.
All right, Tony, appreciate you letting us know, and we appreciate that, man, and it's good to hear from you. And maybe Mike will get his motor fixed back running here in a day or two.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, buddy. See you, Tony. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Dylan, take us to a break, would you? Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TVA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Folks, Glenn was, I tried to talk to Glenn today, and he was with a customer, and I guess they went on past closing time, and he didn't get to call me back. So remember Reynolds Racing and Marine, get on the line there and get on their website and check out what they've got to offer, and I'll try to find out more this coming week, and if I get a chance to go by and do some filming. I don't know if he's got rid of that dual console express yet. I just don't know. But you can get online and find all that information out, and see something you like, go by there, check them out, and look it over, and hopefully he can make a deal. I've got a guy at work, and he's looking for a pontoon, and I put him on the track of one that they got down there. He wants a fishing pontoon, and so I told him today you need to call that number, and he got back with me this afternoon and said, yeah, he was going to go down there, so I hope he finds what he's looking for.
Yes, for sure.
And I think, get that took care of, so get him on the water, get him fishing. I still say there's who was it telling me that the boat manufacturers is like everybody else. They got a lot of people that's not at work, and getting things to rig with and that kind of stuff still a problem.
Oh yeah.
So parts for this and parts for that. Even your trolling motors and everything else we're using to fish with is, just a lot of people. This virus thing's got a lot of people out of work that normally would be manufacturing those things we would like to have, and so they're kind of slow about getting.
Yeah, I mean, you take Perco or Atwood or somebody like that, and they're selling to all these boat manufacturers, and they may be a 1 million boats a year over the United States is built, you know, and they're supplying parts for them and stuff, and you know.
Yeah.
Ain't got nobody out there. They're selling what they got. Everything's on back order. Ain't much you can do about it, but just put your name in the hat and wait for them to come up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You may have a seat manufacturer over here. They may not have but 1 or 2 workers, where you used to have a dozen or something making seats for you.
Yep.
Same way with the power pedestals or solid pedestals, that swivel eaves outfit, and you know.
Yeah, anything you need to rig a boat with, you know, your instrumentation and all that kind of stuff. So, kind of, you know, it's not as plentiful as it normally is.
No.
And so,
Even trailers to haul them on is hard to
yeah.
come up with.
That's true, Mike. That's true. It revolves into everything that you're dealing with there on that. Jerry Graham, I hope you heard me say hello to you. Mike, he's not caught any fish in so long it's hard to have baits on the board. You know, maybe we can have some up there next week and talk about what not to fish with at least.
Yeah, well, them minnows try to jump off the hook every time you put them on there.
Yeah, they do that, Mike. That's a fact. We're just going to keep up with what we can find out, word of mouth. These guys that are fishing and getting the fish, you know, they kind of give you little hints here and there and about who's catching and where they're catching them at and that kind of stuff. It was, you know, the water temperature, the lake coming up. I don't know if they're going to pull. Well, see, the day's the 15th. Normally, they shoot for around the 15th of April to have the water up. And I know of a few years it's been come a rain and fill the lake up, and then they'd draw it back down, give you a chance to clean up the shoreline and work on your docks and that kind of stuff for about a week, and then they'd fill it back up.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Loudon was down a foot and a half or so. They were spilling water through 2 or 3 of the floodgates on the dam over there Saturday. And Watts Bar likes, 2 foot being full, roughly. 2 feet and up with Watts Bar to be full. So, you know, I don't know about Norris as far as is it in the woods or is it not. I couldn't tell you. I hadn't looked at it. Was it 1047's full pool?
I think so.
I think that's it. So I don't know what it is right now. But you know, it's time for them to be getting full.
Yeah. I was catching the news there on the radio and heard old Phil over there talking about, because he lives up there on Douglas. He said it went plumb to full pool, and then said they're dropping the heck out of Douglas right now. So evidently they're expecting to get these headwater lakes down so they can take care of some more big rains coming in here. Have somewhere to put it. So
yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, Bill and Paul was out there at Dale Hollow. It came up over 6 feet overnight. Yeah. And that's when they decided to come home.
Yeah.
All the leaves washed in the lake and the trash. He said it just. Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't even see the parking lot.
You couldn't see the parking lots and that kind of stuff. So, anyway, that's kind of what's going on, for sure. But you know, that's just this spring weather.
Yeah.
That's normal. I remember years back, Norris shucks it. In March, we'd be fishing in the cuckleberry bushes up there. You know, it'd be full. I mean, full. You know, and but that doesn't happen anymore because they keep it down, unless they get a big heavy rain like they have. They've had the spill gates open 2 or 3 different times here in her lifetime so far. So, we'll see what goes on. Like I said, I hadn't talked to. They were catching some largemouth a few weeks ago at Norris, back in the creeks. Anywhere you could find some muddy water, you could catch some largemouth. On crankbaits was mainly what they was catching them on, and so you don't never know about them.
They also said that they was catching a lot of crappie up there at Douglas right now.
Yeah, I did hear that. I forgot who it was told me that the crappie were biting good on Douglas. It's just, how, Douglas has got a lot of fish in it.
It sure does.
They don't have a whole bunch of big fish except in certain years, but there's always been a lot of 10, 11, 12-inch bass in that lake. Shucks, we went up there and, you catch 15, 18, 20, 25 fish off one point.
That's right.
Just
watermelon seeds.
Yeah, watermelon seed and pumpkin seed and just a blue worm with a red tail on it. That was just it. You always could count on catching a lot of fish up there most of the time.
Yeah, and they'd all be just 12 inches.
Yeah, sure would. Every one of them. But there's a lot of fish in it. Has been over the years and that kind of thing. All right, Mike, what else we got?
Right offhand, I don't know. I hadn't heard nothing on Chickamauga or any of the other lakes.
Well, Rick Whitson was down there a week or so ago, and he caught some pretty nice fish, and but I reckon it's still down quite a bit. I'm sure it come up some, but they're running it pretty hard. But he caught some pretty nice fish, he said, and several 3-4 pounders there, and then they caught some small fish too. Now, what was it that guy was telling me? Where was they at catching them crappie? Yeah, it was on Douglas. Old Sam Richardson there, him and his boy Travis, they went up to Douglas the other week, and he said, we just pinpointed the big ones. That's live scope. He said you swing around there and see what you wanted to fish for, and so that's when that thing would line up on it, that's where they'd cast at, and most of the time they caught them. They had some nice crappie. And he said we left all the little ones. We just went from place to place and looking for them, and when we'd find a big one, and 2 or 3 big ones, we'd go in there and finally catch them all, and we'd move on. So, and that was on Douglas. So, 2 weeks ago, I guess, 2 Saturdays ago, it was on Douglas. But, the crappies, it's time for them to be doing their thing.
Yeah, I hadn't heard nothing on Milton Hill either. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah. Well, them guys that fish Milton Hill a lot, I guarantee you they're doing something.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, they really do. They know what to do over there, and all that kind of stuff to get on them crappie for sure. Let's see. I was trying to think of what's coming up here in the next few days. I thought one of them guys told me there was another one of those Watts Bar Opens coming up here in the next. May be coming up this next weekend, either this Saturday or the next Saturday. And by the way, that St. Jude's tournament, it's going to be on Watts Bar this year, and I think they put it off instead of having it in May. It's like the first weekend in June. Is that right?
I think June 2nd.
Yeah, something like that. So I want to keep that in mind. That's a good thing to be for donations, and they pay all that money into St. Jude's, and and they got a lot of good prizes they give away down there and that kind of thing. So be looking forward to a big crowd down there for sure. And then Mike, you know, I can't wait till I'm almost sure, was it last year when we was up there in April, end of April, I know it was in May. See, what was it? Wesley had a tournament, high school tournament in May, and I took him and his buddy down there to fish it, and they had, I think, 3 fish. I think they won big fish and come in 3rd or 4th total weight, and then I come home and unloaded their stuff and put the black lights in the boat and took off. Yeah, I believe it was sometime around the 1st or 2nd week of May last year. Caught some fish up there night fishing.
Oh yeah, they ought to be coming off the nest up there with that water temperature starting to get up there in them upper 60s, 65 or something, you know.
Right.
Them smallies ought to be nesting right now.
Yeah, they ought to be doing that, and they ought to be hungry and ready to eat here before too long. For sure. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here. God bless you all. Have a safe weekend, and do remember to wear your life jacket and keep it out there where you can get to it if you're not going to wear it, at least. And want to be careful and not get in the water. Still, that 64-degree water is not really warm. The fish that Wesley caught over on Loudon in that 64-degree water, I'd measure them and toss them back in when they wasn't keepers, and they felt like, they weren't warm by no means.
No.
So, yeah, it's still a little cool, the water is. So, God bless you all. We're going to close out here on some sponsors, and we'll see y'all next week. Hey folks, here at Edgemore Outdoors, we're going to run inside and shoot some film. Don't forget Edgemore Outdoors over here on Edgemore Road. Hey folks, we're in here at Edgemore Outdoors. Man, the place has been packed with people. The reason being because this is the best sporting goods store this side of the Mississippi River, so if you want to get in here and get you something, you better come by. See Jim and Vance and Jeannie here at Edgemore Outdoors. They've got everything you might need to fish with, whether it be from a boat or from the bank or whatever. Rods, reels, the walls are lined with baits, tackle. Just great store. Jim's been a sponsor of the show for a long time, and we really appreciate him and his family. And but do get by here and visit with them at Edgemore Outdoors. Live bait, just everything in the world. We'll just take a little quick stroll down through here. Jim said he was tired of seeing Vance on the TV every Thursday night, so he wanted me to get somebody besides him. I'll take that back. He didn't say that, but I thought about it. All right, Vance, what kind of special you got for us today?
Got all kinds of specials in here today.
Got all kinds of specials today. Anything in particular? Got a good sale on reels, rods?
We got some, we've been selling a bunch of these Corrados and Shimano SLX reels with the digital chips in them here lately. We got them in right and left. And
Okay.
We got a few of them right now, but it's a good reel. One of them's $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
That's guaranteed not to backlash, is that right?
Well, you need to set the reel correctly, but when you set the reel right, it is really hard to backlash them. It works really well. We tested them when they come out to make sure that everything worked good. We got them.
Okay.
And they've been going good for us here.
Good deal, Vance. And that price on that's what?
There's one of them is $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
All right. All right, Vance, we appreciate it. Folks, do get by here and visit Edgemore Outdoors.
can't go wrong. I think you'll be well satisfied once you come in the door. Hey folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, 620 Ray Street here in Kingston. Got Mr. Glenn Reynolds here with us. Glenn, tell us about this beautiful Bullet boat sitting here.
Okay, this is the latest deal. It's called SST. It's 21 foot long. Has a lot of key features inside. It's got three coolers, so you keep your beverages plenty cool. Got a little wider front end up front. And it's got the recessed foot pedal for the new Spotlight trolling motors that I'm going to try to sell Steve one.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pretty silver and red.
Boy, it's beautiful. It really is.
Got the new 250R.
250R on that thing, folks. Man, this thing looks sharp.
That's just one boat. Of course, we got it in the background here.
Yeah.
We've got several side-by-sides.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then...
there's the big 5-seater. That's a 5-seater. Man. Dadgone it, Glenn.
We've got a lot of side-by-sides.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got, of course, this is
Allison?
This is Allison color Pro Series.
Yeah.
It's called a Pro Elite.
Pro Elite, okay.
And it's got, I guess here is some of the different pictures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Got a TV screen in the front.
Yeah. And then it raises it up, it's called an E-pad.
Right.
And Allison has a patent on this, I think. And you can raise it up where you can, if you're a tall guy, you can still see
it. Yeah, yeah.
That's sort of unique. And then, of course, we've got the Allisons and the Bullets on this side.
Right. Oh, man. We've got the twin yellows here, don't we?
Got the twin yellows. One's yellow and white, one's yellow and black. This one will be in Mercury's brochure. I went down and made some pictures at Joe River Lake, and it should be coming up pretty soon in the brochure.
Right.
And of course, it has the E-pad, it has a spot lock. I call it Ultrex.
Right.
Now this is called a 21 RDC. It's a raised deck, dual console. And it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and it's
one of my favorites.
It's a beautiful boat. Yes, sir.
And now it's got the new 300R on it.
300R, man.
And, but we can mix and match any engine combination just about you want.
Yeah.
Some people want 300, some wants 200, some wants 250s.
Yeah.
And but we're normally selling 250 and $300. You say.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, Glenn. Glenn, you want to mention something about the pontoon boat sitting over there?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Got a veranda pontoon boat here. Man, that thing is beautiful.
And I guess over here we get a close-up.
Yeah.
Everybody else has got plywood bottom. This got what we call a cooling slot. It's all aluminum. It never soak up any moisture or water.
Yeah.
And probably last, no reason why it wouldn't last a lifetime or two, you know?
Yep.
And we get up in it and...
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. and those that are every day. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health, for every moment.